you are the one who can divorce or not divorce the man. If she said, no, I'll take this from you, I am the one who can divorce or not. In Islam, there's nothing called a woman can divorce a man. She can get out of the marriage. There is a way for her to get out of the marriage, but it's not called divorce. That's not there Islamically. If she said, no, it's not yours. Tamam? La muakhar is something else. This is deen. He's talking about, dividing it. You owe me 10,000, for example. You give me 5 now and 5 later. This is deen. You have to pay. Whatever we agree. I pay to you after a year. When I die, that's okay. Whatever we agree is fine. But let's say she added this condition, which is it right or not? Allah give al-isma, He made the man is al-isma fi yadiha. She will be the one who divorces. The man cannot. Or if she says, for example, come on. No, you cannot get married to a second wife. Let me put it this way. You cannot get married to another wife. If she said that as a condition, initially, is that halal or haram? No, the action itself. A man getting married to her. Allah said, is it halal or haram? In Islam, we're talking Islamically now. Try to get everything out of your mind. We're not talking whatever is going on right now. We're talking Islamically. So she made something halal. Let me make it clear. She said, we're getting married, but you cannot touch me. That's a condition. Here's a condition. You cannot kiss me. Is this condition binding or not? No, it's not binding. Because first, it's so clear in this, because it's against the very essence of the contract. The very essence of the contract is marriage. You cannot come, I sell you this car, but you cannot drive it. It's against the very essence. So this is shartun fasid, or this is something that's not binding. By the way, scholars disagree. They said, okay, he may marry another one, he may not. That's not wajib, or she's not making. She is just limiting. And they agree from there. Actually, some scholars said it's binding. Some scholars, this is binding. Abu Hanifa, if I'm not wrong. Other scholars said, no, that's not binding. Those kind of conditions to limit things that Allah made halal. But she said, no, it's haram. Or you cannot make it, or you make it. Anyways, we're not here to discuss the details. We're here to talk about the rules in general. So the rule in general, if you have a contract and there is a condition, all conditions will be binding, except for a condition that will turn something halal into haram, or haram into halal. In this case, it's not binding for either one of them, even though it might be there. The last rule, I was planning to do 5 at least, but we'll do 3. The last one for tonight is al-aslu fil mu'amalati al-ibahatu wal-hil. The essence or the basis or the initial condition for any transaction, and actually for everything, we're talking transaction, mu'amalat only. For anything, is everything initially, as Allah created, as Allah made it, halal or haram? I don't know the rule now. I don't know the rule. Somebody just accepted Islam today. Is it halal to say this, do this, eat this? Halal or haram? What is the initial rule? Which one is the basis? Which one is the default? Halal or haram? Anybody would say haram? Tamam. We have ayat in the Quran. Take for example, ayah like في أول سورة البقرة هو الذي خلق لكم ما في الأرض جميعا. Allah is the one who made for you everything on earth. That's general. نص عام. هو سخر لكم ما في السماوات وما في الأرض. He made available, usable, مسخر for you. What's in the skies, what's in the earth. And many ayat like this, the scholars from that said that everything is halal. But then we're not talking transaction. Some of it is transaction. Some scholars, or actually many scholars, made a little exception from that. قالوا إلا الأبضاع واللحوم. Except for يعني الفروج, to be with somebody, to get married to somebody. Like, you're not legal, this boy cannot be with this girl unless we have a contract. All the initial default for that is everybody is haram. All women for you is haram. All men for the sister is haram. Except what the Shara came and said, you can marry this, you cannot marry this, you can have this relationship, you cannot. And luhum, and the meat as well. Some scholars include said, no, all meat in specific, not foods, not all kinds of food, should be, we should be suspicious about, or we should assume that it's haram unless otherwise is proven. But the main and general rule, other than those two, and those two are not agreed upon for all the scholars, by the way, but you can say, generally speaking, al-aslu fil ashya' al-hil wal-ibaha. إلا ما ورد الدليل بحظره. Unless we have a dalil. That's why if somebody said haram, I say halal, you say haram. Who should provide the evidence? You say halal. Why is it halal? Give me the reason. No. Oh, I forgot to mention al-ibadat as well. Ibadat. They also mention ibadat, actions of ibadah. All the ibadat, actions of worship. توقيفية. أصل فيها haram. The default case for ibadat is you're not supposed to add one movement or one something in the salah unless everything is haram in salah. That's actually called takbiratul ihram. The takbir for everything is haram. I cannot do anything, I cannot eat, drink unless what Allah said. You say Sami Allahu liman hamid, I say it here. Instead of Allahu Akbar, can I say Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim? Sami Allah? No, you just say what Allah said. طيب, so the general rule, other than the little exception that I mentioned, is al-aslu fi al-ashya' al-hill wal-ibaha. Everything is initially by default legal, usable, unless otherwise is mentioned. Wallahu a'lam. In a hadith.